Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me about these lovely Geminis in late November. What's happening? What energies, messages, insights can you take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's walk and see what we got for the Gemini collective. What's happening? My gods, what's the vibe? What's the energy around my good friends here? In late November, it's Sagittarius season, beautiful time of year. Okay, so this is an interesting vibe that always shows up, because to me it's like very daydreamy, it's imaginative. You see all the imagery there with the clock and the numbers coming off. It could deal with sleep and rest, recovery as well, but I do like the imagination that's contained within here, because there's a strong mental activity going on, but it's like thinking outside the box. So I do like this. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So again, imagery. The background is gorgeous. The sky is different colors. We see this lady that's underneath the clock. It looks like she's doing meditation or yoga, some sort of mental exploration when I see this. So, of course, it does have that imaginative, daydreaming type of vibe going on. And as air signs, I know Geminis are usually mentally active. You like seeing things from different angles. Geminis are very good at putting themselves in other people's shoes and vice versa. So when I see this card, I mean, just watch for the overthinking. That's the one big caution I could have with this. But any sort of creative endeavor, highly favored here. For some of you, there could be something connected to sleep and dreams. So I'm not sure if you're having issues with sleep, or you might be having some really funky dreams when this shows up. But there is this strong mental proclivity here, especially towards being over imaginative. So you might need some sort of vent for that when you see it. I mean, if that's not you, that could be someone you're connected to that's up in their head a little too much when this is here, like overthinking. But we're going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say with this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Geminis, please. And while we get this deck shuffled and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. I felt a lot of energy coming towards the Gemini collective. And the reading was titled, Here They Come. So lots of people, lots of court cards, lots of energies that could have been affecting you. So whether it's like people popping up out of nowhere, or just being hypersensitive to the energy around you, that was a really strong theme in last week's reading. Gemini energy felt very magnetic, like pulling things, attracting things in. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Gemini, please. What's happening in late November Saggy season? There we go. Hermit. Okay, so this is kind of the opposite what we saw last week, whereas I felt like energy coming towards you. Now I see like a recoiling. Someone in hermit mode. We'll talk about it. Let's get it right there by the amethyst. Let's get 2 more. Interesting. I usually like an action card in the first position. Let's get a couple more. What is going on? I mean, the hermit can be highly spiritual type of energy here. Now we have the high priestess in position number 2. It's like these people are getting ready to do some sort of ritual or something when we see all this action. Let's keep it moving and get her tucked in right there. What else do we have for Gemini here? Lots of mysterious energy too. Cute. 3 of Cups. Okay, so that could be a very positive ending here with the 3 of Cups on the back end. So there's some of that magnetism that we were picking up last week. So yeah, let's get that right there by the celestite. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first look, first glance, I do like the elemental mixture we have going on this week. As you can see here, we're starting off with a little bit of earth. Then we have water and water. So I always say when you mix water and earth, there's a recipe for potential when we mix those elements together. It can be really good. We also have some similar themes, right? Like in the front here, we have highly spiritual energies with the Hermit and High Priestess, very mysterious energies with the Hermit and the High Priestess. But what I'm really eyeing up here is the end result, which could be really good. So for some Geminis out there, you might need to keep your eye on the prize, or like look towards the final outcome, not what's happening right this second, not what's happening right now, the goals, the aspirations, what's coming down the pipeline, because there could be a nice celebratory energy there. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we're starting off with the Hermit, Virgo energy. So you might be connected to a Virgo, maybe you have Virgo placements yourself. And what does this Hermit do? It retracts, it pulls back its energy, it takes a step back. So for some of you, there could be a situation that you're taking a little step back from, you're not putting so much energy into it. Some Geminis, you might literally be in Hermit mode where you're not being super social, like this energy here on the back end, just doing your own thing, chilling in the house a little more than normal when this card is here. Nothing wrong with that, right? No judgment. The Hermit can be very positive. In its positive sense, it represents wisdom, a strong inclination towards spirituality. That's why I said when I say the Hermit in his cloak and the High Priestess is like, okay, it looks like they're doing some sort of spiritual practice here on the front end. So we're going to have to look at that further for sure. But when we get to the challenge of the Hermit, it represents silence. So it could be like not talking to someone, or someone that's like you're off their radar, they're off yours. Sometimes it could be problematic. So sometimes the Hermit could be a bit of a problem. It's not moving forward, it's like moving backward. So we're going to want to look at this further for sure, especially when we're starting with an energy pulling back. Now, moving to the center, this is going to be an intriguing card throughout the whole entire reading. We have the beautiful High Priestess chilling right here. Now, she connects with the zodiac sign of Pisces. I also link her to all the water signs, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If you're not connected to one of those, when we see the High Priestess, she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She does speak about intuition, energetic sensitivity, and that was a big theme in last week's reading, that I felt so much energy coming towards you like a barrage that you could be hypersensitive to that. She's saying the same thing. So make sure in this time you're protecting your energy, you're sealing it off. Very important when this is here. Your gut could be telling you something when the High Priestess shows up in a reading, because not only is she in the place of balance, she's not making any moves, right? She's in between these two pillars. She's holding a volume of the sacred law in her lap. So she can talk about gathering information, gathering knowledge. So again, if you're not like really inclined towards spirituality and spiritual practices in this time, she practices secrecy, right? Because she has all this knowledge at her disposal, but she's not saying nothing. So she is one of my cards of secrecy, the unknown, the unexpected. So we're going to have to see. She's very similar to the moon in that regard. So yeah, lots of obscured energy here in the front end with the Hermit and the High Priestess. Now, moving to the back end is what I really like. We have the Three of Cups. Now, similarly to last week's reading, I said, hey, here's that magnetism. This is a card that could represent your circle of friends, the people around you, family, you name it, groups of people, whenever there's any three. But you see what they're doing. They're celebrating. They're having a good time. They're raising their glasses. They're partying it up. So when I see this card, I think of merriment, joyousness, and having a great time. So if you're not literally doing that, this could represent like a win or a victory of some sort, which is nice when we're coming out of all this mystery, like, hey, what's going on? What's going to happen? The end result of this could be really good. Now, when it gets to the challenge of the Three of Cups, because, you know, I'm always going to give you the challenge of every card and the positive. Sometimes it can represent overindulgence. So if there's something you've been trying to refrain from, if you've been trying to not indulge in something, whether it's a behavior, you name it, this could be Spirit saying like, there might be a little temptation for you. Also, it could be Spirit saying like, all right, there's something in regards to the people around you when we see the Three of Cups. So I want to dive deeper in all the Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Gemini friends, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Hermit. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you You could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Hermit time. What's this about? What's this retraction? Thank you. Seven of Wands. Doing it, but I'm not happy about it. I don't know why I'm saying that phrase. Like, I'm doing it, but I'm not happy about it. This could be someone that is very much on guard, skeptical. Like, to me, it feels very Nine of Wands like when I see this energy here in the front end, like wounded warrior. So in this time, there could be a situation or something where you're either not going to feed energy into it anymore, or you're very skeptical about it. To me, it's like somebody building a wall and protecting themselves. So for some of you, it could be spirit saying like, hey, well, yeah, maybe this person, they're purposely insulating themselves. I don't yet want to say that this is somebody rejecting somebody. That could be a possible, not somebody, but something. When I see the Hermit and the Seven of Wands, it's like, no, back up, back up, back up. I'm not feeding energy into that. So I feel like that's it. Like, I'm doing it, but I'm not liking it. So those are the main three messages. One, there could be certain situations where you're going to do something begrudgingly, even though like you don't really want to do it, but you're going to do it because you have to. Two, you might be very skeptical or building a wall. Or three, this could be like rejecting something, whether it's a situation or behavior where it's like, no, I'm not putting energy into that right now. I don't have the energy for that. That could stay there for now. Let's keep moving. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I feel like I'm going to continue to keep pulling messages out of there. So those are the main three things I'm feeling from that. Okay. Yeah, because the Seven of Wands there, you see him, he's like battling, and sometimes it could represent issues. I just feel like somebody doesn't have the energy for it. Let's keep moving. Let's see what that High Priestess is about. What's the High Priestess here? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is good. And I think that might be a good way to move for whatever reason, because normally we think in any situation, if we want a positive result, we have to take action. We have to make moves. Like, if we stop applying pressure and we stop putting action towards it, like, all right, well, how's it going to get better if I'm not doing anything? I feel like something naturally is going to unfold. We have the Six of Wands. That's a card of victory. Okay, I feel like for a lot of you, staying optimistic and positive is highly important in this time, regardless of whatever it is you may or may not be going through. I feel like if you keep a positive mindset, see the silver lining, and keep your eye on the prize, like we said here in the beginning, to me, it's like the sky's the limit. But when I see the High Priestess, unexpected, with that Six of Wands, a huge card of victory, I feel like for a lot of you, either going this route is going to get you the results you want, taking a step back is going to get you the results you want, or this is an unexpected winner victory coming in. Okay, because this energy is not working towards it. This energy is just business as usual. So when I see the High Priestess, Six of Wands, very simple message right there. Either that or there's just somebody that doesn't want to be seen right now. That's another thing. I mean, I'm going to stick with that main message. I feel for a lot of you, there could be an unexpected winner victory coming in, but there's also this energy of somebody they don't want to be seen right now for whatever reason, or they're laying low, like when you combine all this energy up front. Let's keep moving to the Three of Cups. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Notice lots of fire in the clarifiers. So let's see what that Three of Cups has to say. Then we'll do our recap. So why is the Three of Cups here? For the Geminis, please. Very simple, very claimable here in the center. So what's happening with that Three of Cups? King of Swords, that's your card right there. And you're going to be happy you did something. You're going to be happy you did something the way you did it. Okay, like this is, I feel like this is someone being very satisfied in the end. Now, the King of Swords, that's one of your cards. Remember, it's not gender specific. So in this case, I am linking it to the Gemini collective underneath the Three of Cups. Now, I feel like it's a double-pronged message. Similarly, I'm getting the same stuff I picked up to last week, where there's going to be a lot of energies coming your way. I mean, you might be more popular than usual when this is here because there's a certain magnetism around the Gemini still that we're picking up from last week. But at the end of the day, you're going to be very happy that you went about something a certain way. I mean, I just feel with this energy on the back end, it's like I'm satisfied. I'm glad I did it that way, or I'm glad I went through this. I don't know why it's showing up like that. Now, the King of Swords is usually very stern, serious. It is a strategist. It is a planner as well. So when I see him under the Three of Cups, it's like, yeah, everything went according to plan. I'm happy. So it's like we have double cards of victory and something going your way. Now, I always say, you know, in life, you know, sometimes to really get the results we want, we need to make action. But sometimes the best action is no action. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here on the front end and with how this all results. Because it's like, okay, well, if you don't feed into it too much, or if you just like take a step back, you're going to see things clearer and things are actually going to start to unfold. That's just how it's showing up to me in a very powerful way. So we have good results coming in here on the back end. Let's go through and do a quick little recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. I like your reading for the most part this week. There is this little bit of choppiness in the front. It's all okay. It's okay though. Let's go through, then we'll get into the shadow. Position number 1, if you kindly look into the box, we have a full-on retracted guard up type of energy here in the front. We have the Hermit clarified by the 7 of Wands. Either this is someone that's like being very protective of themselves or just taking a step back. I'm also getting the vibe of like someone rejecting something, like I don't have energy for that right now, so I'm just gonna put that on the burner for a minute. It's like giving me that vibe. Not doing much except taking a step back. Moving to the center, we have the High Priestess with the 6 of Wands in the upright, a surprise or unexpected win there. Beautiful stuff. And I feel like you going about something and not applying a lot of pressure, taking a more passive approach is the way to go. It's like, all right, just let it unfold. Just let it unfold how it needs to unfold. I think that's good. Moving to the back end, we have the 3 of Cups with the King of Swords in the upright. So we have double alignments of something going your way. This King energy is very happy that something went according to plan, or they're happy, like, all right, well, that went better than expected. I really feel like this is a positive energy, but I also said in this time, Gemini, you might be more magnetic than normal. So you're going to be pulling more people, more situations, more energy your way than you normally do with this on the back. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for the Geminis, please. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Geminis, please? Thank you. Nice and quick. Okay, 3 of Pentacles, cool. So that does kind of tie into what we saw here on the back end, because remember I said with the 3s, it represents groups of people, lots of things going on around you for a portion of you, especially if your mind is on career-based things, money-based things, family-based things. This is a very important card to show up. Now, to me, usually this is a card of teamwork. So if there has been anything disproportionate, or you have been putting in more work or more effort into something than those around you, Spirit could be telling you, like, listen, let somebody else carry the load for one reason or another. If that's not the case, when I see the 3 of Pentacles as the shadow card, Spirit's pointing at someone you're connected to for whatever reason. Okay, now that could be for a good reason. We had a lot of good here, but it could also be Spirit saying, like, listen, you need to take the foot off the gas for some reason. Not saying you need to step away or reject someone. It's just like you need to go very low pressure when I see this type of energy. Just let something evolve how it needs to. So it could also represent, yeah, career, money, savings. I do think it's a good card. But yeah, Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.